Morning here, Walnut Ridge. We're gonna go over an avenue here. 32 RLS. First thing, got 110 on this side out here. If you have an issue with 110, plugging in too much, trying to cook, some people put 2 or 3 crock pots out here and try to cook off one outlet. If it trips, you got a GFI inside by your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink. Just go in there and reset it. On this slide, it's a drive bar slide. So it has 2 tubes with teeth on the bottom. If you ever run these in or out and you hear any kind of squeaky noise, spray them with dry lube, some kind of, not necessarily WD-40, but something of that era. Don't use any grease. Grease will get rocks in there. And then you're going to be having teeth break off. There's a wheel in the back that'll have break. You'll be replacing a lot of things. So never use grease. Anytime you run the slide in or out, make sure you have somewhere for the air to go. So crack the door open the window, something like that. You do have rubber sealants on each side and across the top. Make sure you spray them with some kind of rubber conditioner 3-4 times a year. Spray them down. Helps bring, when they run the slides in and out, helps them open and close. A little safety rail here. This kind of slides in. It's got a little magnet, holds it in place. If you feel like that's going to come loose when you're driving down the road, it does come a pin. So you can slide a pin in there. Solid steps are great. The main thing with those, after you've auto leveled the camper, whenever you're running your auto levels, I'm talking about real quick, make sure your steps are up and have nobody in the camper when you're doing the auto level. It'll throw it off. So have the steps up, run your auto level. Once you're done the auto level, you can come over here. You can release these legs by just pulling on them. To push them in, there's a little button on the bottom. Slide it to where you want it. And then make sure after you have adjusted them, they don't have a big gap right here. So if you can stick your finger under here or something, you need to fix them. Slide them up, slide them down, whichever, because you've only got about a finger's width here, and you're going to bend this door here, and then if you shut the door, you're going to be bending that out. It's going to cause rodents to get in, air to come in. So just make sure you watch where that sits right on that threshold. When you close them up, if they're wet, make sure you got a towel in there so when they go up, it has somewhere for the water so it don't be on your lino. Put them up. It's got a little blue latch kind of holds them in place so they don't fall out when you open the door. The door is what holds them in place. If you go to a permanent spot and put a deck here, all you gotta do, pull the pins, take your steps off. If you do remove these screws, make sure you fill them with silicone, the holes. You don't want water to get down in there and on the floor. You do offer a blend to hand. Bolts are already in. It takes 4 screws. You put it on, and it permanently has a handle on there. Helps getting in and out of the camp coach since it's so high up. The awning, heavy winds, heavy rains, leaving for a day, whatever the case might be, go ahead and bring it in. If you put it up wet within a month or so, try to get back out and get it dry so you don't ruin your awning. There is adjustments on this one. So when it's fully extended, you can push in the back, there's a little pin, and you can adjust where the water can come this way, the water can go that way, or if you want more shade, so you can bring it down and get more shade. Never attach to the ground, never do anything like that. They're not made to put hooks on and tie string to rope it to the ground. It's not made for that. On the exterior on this one, this one's got a little compartment there. It's nice because it's got 110 out here also. So you have 2 outlets on this side of the unit that's outside. A lot of people don't think about that, but it's nice to have 110 outside so you're not running extension cords from inside. But this one's the same as the back one. If it trips, go to your GFI, reset it. You also have antenna and satellite for if you want to set a TV out here or whatever. USB and Type-C for your chargers, and then a little switch for the light for underneath the coach. Lights up the ground. Pretty nice. On this coach, make sure your sealants all the way around. It's good to either take it in, have it serviced once a year. Kind of just go over all your silicone because everything got silicone on it. You don't want gaps, voids, cracks. You want to make sure all that's sealed up nice and tight. inside. So you got your fresh tank. So if you're gonna take water with you, if you're traveling, it's closer to fill. It's best to fill the fresh tank closer to the campsite as you can be, so you're not traveling with a full tank of water. If you do travel with water, I would go 2/3. I want to go completely full because you got a lot of weight. But that way, if you want to stop, you can turn the pump on and you can rinse your hands off. You can use the bathroom, whatever you're doing when you're traveling down the road. You can go in here, and your fresh tank will say 1/3, 2/3 and full. Your battery, you got 1/3, 2/3 full. Black 1 is just your toilet. Black 2 is just for a second toilet. This one doesn't have it, but it's an option. Gray 1 and gray 2. Gray 1's kitchen sink, gray 2 is bathroom sink and shower. The water pump you can access here or at the outside fixture too. You got little tank heaters. They're just little pads underneath the tanks. If you're camping in cold weather, turn them on. Kitchen light, which is one above the sink and in your hallway. You got a camera here, so if you have the camera added on the rear, you can turn the camera on here, turn it off from here. Accent lights go around the roof, ceiling. Awning lights or the LED strips on both awnings. Slide 1, slide 2, and the 2 drive bars. So those are the tubes that have the teeth on the bottom. They make the noise when they're all the way out and when they're all the way in. You've got also on this one a swing tech. It don't have a battery on it, so it's dimming the lights. We're just plugged in or an off converter. On the swing tech slide, anytime you're running those, after it's all the way out, hold it for an extra 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, all the way in. Hold it 1, 2, 3. Swing tech has 2 motors, one on this side and one on that side. So if you run it in just a little bit and stop and then run back out and stop, if you don't get it all the way extended, you're gonna get the motors out of sync. So then you're gonna be having it bind up. So if you just hold it an extra 3 seconds when it's all the way out and all the way in, it synchronizes those. It helps a lot. When extend and retract for your awning, always make sure there's no trees or nothing in the way when you run those in or out. This has the max air vent, which is above the stove. You turn it on. If you can do fan or you can just have it open for airflow. If you leave for the day and you forget about it and you left it open, if it rains, any moisture whatsoever, it's got a little sensor on there. If it gets wet, it shuts down, so your floor won't be soaked. This one controls your AC, fan, and heat. And then you'll have one in your bedroom that just controls AC. And then you got a little dimmer switch for your ceiling lights. Hold in on it, they dim. Hold in on it, they get brighter. You got your carbon monoxide detector. So if you accidentally hit one of the switches on the stove, it'll go off. If it starts beeping every 1 to 3 seconds, it means it's went bad. It's time to replace it. And it's number 2 square heads. Just pull them, cut the wires, splice in a new one. And you got your panel for your 110. It's just like your home breakers. You're gonna run, if any of them trip, you just reset them. If any of these trip, your 12 volt side, a red light beside it's gonna light up saying it's bad. If it's a light switch and the light switch off, it won't light up until you turn the light switch on. And then you got 3 25 amp fuses on the bottom. That controls your converter. So if you come in here and the lights are dim and you're plugged into the wall, start by changing those. To change them though, you can't just pull them, put them in, pull them, put them. You have to physically go out there and turn your disconnect off, unplug from the wall, make sure there's no 12 volt or anything running through the coach. Because if you go to replace one, it's pulling all that power. It's a total of 75 because there's 3 of them. If you put the one in, that's only 25. It's going to pop it as soon as you plug it in. So make sure you kill all 12 volt, unplug from the wall, then pull them out and replace them. Then go out and turn your breaker back on, or disconnect back on, and plug back into the wall. Got a 12 volt refrigerator. So on these, I think we went over these before. It's nice and fresh though. This one is on. You hold underneath the lock button, and it unlocks it. And to turn it off, hold underneath function, right below where it says function. 5 seconds, these little dots come up, let you know it's off. And then if you want to turn it back on, you just hold it on function. Until numbers pop up. And then you can change, I like to go to where there's nothing showing here, and you can adjust your freezer, adjust your fridge, whatever temperature you want. These are 12 volt, so if you unplug from the wall and you don't turn it off, it's gonna pull from your batteries when you're traveling down the road. So if you do want it off, make sure you physically turn it off, or else you're gonna be pulling from your battery. Stovetop is literally push in, turn over, it starts clicking. Obviously there's no LP in this. The oven though, when you go to use this particular model, some people have an issue with it. You actually got to turn the oven on here first and then push in, and once it ignites, it'll make a little noise. You'll hear the pilot light, and then there'll be numbers come up, and you can adjust your temperature. You can set a timer on here, and it does turn red. I think, yeah, red when the stove's on, letting you know that it is on. So if you bump it and it's red. Regular microwave. TV, this has, let's see, is this TV? No, this has a booster, so in your bedroom, behind the TV, or in your closet, you've got a little box that has a little button on it that lights up green light. It's your 12 volt booster for your antenna. Turn that on, and then any campground you go to, you want to do, if they offer Wi-Fi, it's a smart TV, so you can do Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that. But if they don't, you can do channel search, and you'll get a ton of channels. You can play through your radio. You can have the Zone 1 on through your radio, which is interior speakers. If you've got Zone 2 on and you're listening or watching TV, whatever you're watching is going to be playing outside. So make sure when you're watching TV, turn Zone 2 off. Also, you can put your HDMI through this, play your Xbox, PlayStation, USB, Bluetooth, all fun stuff. Fireplace is nice because if it's going to be a 40-degree night, instead of sitting there and wasting all your LP, if you're hooked up to 110, you're not paying for the 110. Run this thing. It's got, let's see, it's got lights. You can turn them off, brighter, different colors, and then your temperature. You can set whatever temperature you want. It's up here is where it says. But yeah, you can turn that on, put a fan in here and blow it toward your bedroom. You know, one place that you're not wasting your LP. With GFI, this will be to reset those outlets outside. So if this trips, there's no green light on, you just come in and reset it. Now reset your plugins outside. There's a little cool storage areas on each side, so if you pull the bed out, you can put stuff in. A little 110 USB and Type-C on both sides, so you can charge if you're in bed here. Another dimmer switch and light switch. So the way those work, you just hold your finger on it and it dims. And if you want to brighten it, which is nice because this is really bright at night. And the plane, pull down blinds. On your AC, you never want restrictions, so on each side here you got these little pins. You just pop that down, take that filter, rinse it off soap water, throw it out there in the sun, it cleans them up, let them dry, and then put them back in and run them, because you don't want any kind of restriction on your AC. It's bad for it. Occasionally check your fire extinguisher, make sure it's good. Occasionally check your 9-volt battery and your smoke alarm. And that will be it on this coach. You guys have a good day.